Have you ever studied English for a long time but still feel scared to speak? Do you make simple mistakes like he go instead of he goes? Don't worry. In this video, you will clearly understand the simple present tense in a very easy way. I will teach you simple formulas, real-life examples, and a powerful method to practice speaking. By the end of this video, you will be confident in making correct sentences and feel more confident while speaking English. So stay with me and let's start learning step by step. In the last video, we learned that there are 12 types of tenses. In this video, we will learn one tense in detail. I will also share simple formulas of the present tense. These formulas will help you make correct sentences easily. What is simple present tense? Simple present tense is one of the most basic and important tenses in English. It is used to talk about things that are always true, things that happen regularly, and things that are part of our daily life. When we use simple present tense, we are usually talking about facts, habits, routines, or general truths. For example, when you say, "The sun rises in the east," it is a universal truth. When you say, "I wake up at 6 a.m. every day," it is your daily routine. Both sentences are in simple present tense. Simple present tense is also used to talk about habits and repeated actions. For example, "She drinks coffee every morning," or "They go to the gym on Sundays." These sentences show actions that happen again and again. We also use this tense to express general truths and facts. For example, "Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius," or "Birds fly in the sky." These things are always true, so we use simple present tense. Another use of simple present tense is to express feelings, thoughts, and opinions. For example, "I like this movie." "He believes in hard work," or "She loves her family." These are not actions happening right now, but they are still true in general. So in simple words, simple present tense is used to talk about daily habits, general truths, repeated actions, and things that are always true. It is very useful in everyday English, and once you understand it well, you can speak and write more clearly and confidently. Before we learn the formulas of the present tense, we need to understand a basic idea. In these formulas, we use subject, verb, and object. So first, we need to understand what these words are and what they mean. A subject is the main part of a sentence that tells us who or what is doing the action, or who or what the sentence is about. In every complete sentence, the subject is very important because it gives meaning to the sentence. Without a subject, we do not know who is performing the action. For example, in the sentence, "Rahul plays cricket," the word Rahul is the subject because he is the person doing the action. In the sentence, "The dog barks," the dog is the subject because it is doing the action. Sometimes the subject is not a person. It can be a thing, an animal, or even an idea. For example, in "The sun rises in the east," the sun is the subject. In "Books help us learn," books is the subject. The subject usually comes at the beginning of a sentence, but not always. In simple words, the subject answers the question who or what in a sentence. If you can find who is doing the action, you can easily find the subject. Understanding the subject is very important because it helps you form correct sentences, especially when using tenses like simple present tense. A verb is a word that shows action, state, or condition in a sentence. It tells us what the subject is doing or what is happening in the sentence. In many sentences, the verb shows an action. For example, in "She runs every morning," the word runs is the verb because it tells us the action she is doing. In "They play football," play is the verb. A sentence is not complete without a verb. The verb is the heart of the sentence because it connects the subject with what is happening. For example, the baby sleeps, birds fly, and we learn English all have verbs that make the sentence meaningful. In simple words, a verb is a word that tells us what the subject does or what happens in the sentence. An object is the part of a sentence that receives the action of the verb. It tells us what or whom the action is done to. To understand it simply, first find the subject and the verb. Then ask the question what or whom after the verb. The answer you get is the object. For example, in the sentence, she reads a book, she is the subject and reads is the verb. Now ask, reads what? The answer is a book, so a book is the object. In another example, he helps his friend, he is the subject and helps is the verb. Ask, helps whom? The answer is his friend, so his friend is the object. Sometimes a sentence may not have an object. For example, she sleeps. Here there is a subject and a verb, but no object because the action does not pass to anything. Objects can be things, people, or even ideas. For example, they watch movies. I love my parents, or she understands the lesson. In all these sentences, the words movies, my parents, and the lesson are objects. In simple words, an object is the word or group of words that receives the action of the verb and answers the question what or whom after the verb. Now we understand subject, verb, and object. Before we learn the formulas, we need to understand that verbs have different forms, like V1, V2, and V3. What are these forms? Verbs can change their form. These forms are called V1, V2, and V3. Let's understand them one by one. Brain. V1, first form of verb. V1 is the base form of the verb. This is the original form. Examples: like, eat, go, play. We use V1 in simple present tense. Example, I like apples. After do or does. Example, do you like tea? V2 is the past form of the verb. It tells us about something that already happened. Examples, like, liked, eat, ate, go, went, play, played. Example sentences, I liked the movie. She went to school. V3, third form of verb. V3 is also called the past participle form. We use it with helping verbs like has, have, had. Examples, like, liked, eat, eaten, go, gone, play, played. Example sentences, I have liked this song for years. She has gone to the market. Important point. Some verbs are regular. V2 and V3 are same. Like, liked, liked. Play, played, played. Some verbs are irregular. V2 and V3 are different. Go, went, gone, eat, ate, eaten. How to identify the simple present tense. Simple present tense is actually very easy to identify if you look at a few simple things. First, understand the use. We use simple present tense to talk about things that are always true, regular habits, or daily routines. For example, I wake up at 6 a.m. Daily routine. The sun rises in the east. Always true. She plays cricket every day. Habit. Now, how do you identify it? Look at the verb form. In simple present tense, with I, you, we, they, use the base form of the verb. Example, I eat, you play, they work. With he, she, it, add s or es to the verb. Example, he eats, she plays, it works. So if you see a verb like play, plays, eat, eats, go, goes, it is usually simple present. Now, check the sentence structure. Now we have learned about subject, verb forms, V1, V2, V3, and object. Let's learn the formula of the simple present tense. This formula will help us make simple present tense sentences. Formula: subject plus verb, V1, plus object. Tip: in the simple present tense, we use the V1 form of the verb, base form. Now, let's use this formula to make some sentences. Example: let's take the sentence, we go to school. Subject, we. Verb, V1, go. Object, to school. Example: let's take the sentence, I learn English. Subject, I. Verb, V1, learn. Object, English. When we use the simple present tense, the form of the verb changes depending on the subject. If the subject is I, you, we, or they, we use the base form of the verb. For example, we say, I play, you work, or they run. The verb does not change in these sentences. But when the subject is he, she, or it, or any single person or thing like Rahul, Ria, a dog, or a boy, we need to change the verb slightly. In this case, we usually add s or es to the verb. For example, we say, he plays, she works, and it runs. Here the verb becomes different because the subject is singular. Now you may wonder when to use s and when to use es. Most of the time we simply add s, but for some verbs we add es instead to make the words sound correct and easier to pronounce. We use es when the verb ends with sounds like o, ch, s, and x. These endings need an extra e before adding s so the word is easier to say. For example, go becomes goes, watch becomes watches, wash becomes washes, pass becomes passes, and fix becomes fixes. This rule helps make English sentences sound natural and correct. At first, you may need to think about these rules while speaking, but with regular practice, you will start using them automatically without thinking too much. The key idea is simple. When the subject is he, she, or it, the verb changes by adding s or es. When the subject is I, you, we, or they, the verb stays in its basic form. Now you understand the formula of simple present tense. It does not matter which language you speak. The important thing is to take a sentence from your local language and change it into English using the simple present tense. In the beginning, this may feel difficult. That is normal. You will need to practice again and again. There is a famous saying, practice makes a man perfect. This means the more you practice, the better you become. So try to use the simple present tense formula whenever you want to speak or write in English. Take small sentences from your daily life and convert them into English. For example, things you do every day, like eating, going, working, or studying. At first, you may need to look at the formula again and again, but don't worry, after enough practice, you will remember it automatically. Your mind will start using the correct structure without thinking too much. Once this happens, you will be able to quickly change your local language sentences into English. This is how fluency begins. To become strong in simple present tense, you must practice many sentences. Also, when you read or hear English sentences, try to identify which tense is used. Ask yourself, is this simple present tense? This habit will improve your understanding. In my previous video, I told you that you can use tools like ChatGPT and WhatsApp, Meta AI, to help you learn English daily. You can ask them to give you practice sentences, examples, or corrections. Use these tools regularly. They can guide you and help you improve faster. Have you ever listened to your own voice while speaking English? If not, try recording yourself when you speak. After that, listen carefully to your recording. When you hear your voice, notice how it sounds. Ask yourself if your speech is clear and easy to understand. Think about whether you sound confident or not. You may also hear some problems, like using too many words, stopping too often, or speaking with low confidence. If you feel that your English is not clear or confident, it means you need more speaking practice. Knowing English is not enough. You must also practice speaking in your own words so your mouth becomes comfortable with the language. One very effective way to improve this is a technique called shadowing. In this method, you listen to someone speaking English and try to repeat the same words immediately. You try to copy their pronunciation, speed, and tone. This helps your mouth learn how to form correct English sounds and sentences. At first, it may feel difficult and you may not speak perfectly. But if you practice this daily, your speech will slowly improve, your pronunciation will become clearer, and your confidence will increase. You may not believe it, but if you practice shadowing regularly for about 2 weeks, you will start to notice small changes. Your speech will become a little smoother, and you will feel more comfortable while speaking. If you see improvement, you should continue this practice. If you feel it is not helping, you can try another method. But for most learners, shadowing is a very useful and powerful technique. Now, let me explain this with a simple example. Imagine you want to drive a car. You spend a lot of time learning everything about it. You understand how to release the clutch, when to press the brake, how to change gears, how to reverse the car, and how to control the speed. You may even read books or watch videos and feel that you know everything about driving. But there is one problem. You have never actually driven a car in real life. All your knowledge is only theoretical. It means you understand the ideas, but you have no real experience. Now think honestly, can you drive a car confidently on the road? The answer is no. You may know all the steps, but when you sit in the driver's seat, you will feel confused or nervous. Your hands and feet will not move smoothly because they are not trained yet. Driving is a skill that needs real practice, not just knowledge. In the same way, you may know a lot about English. You may understand grammar rules, remember many words, and read many books. You may feel that your knowledge is good, but if you do not practice speaking, it will not help you become fluent. Think about it carefully. If you never speak English with your own mouth, how will your speaking improve? Your mind may know the correct sentences, but your mouth is not trained to say them. Because of this, you may feel nervous, make mistakes, or stop in the middle while speaking. Fluency does not come only from reading or learning. It comes from using the language again and again. When you speak regularly, your brain and your mouth start working together. Slowly, your sentences become smoother, your confidence increases, and you can express your thoughts more easily. No matter how many books you read or how much knowledge you have, if you do not practice speaking, you cannot become a fluent English speaker. Speaking is a skill, and like any skill, it improves only with practice. So, if you truly want to speak English fluently, you must start speaking. Even if you make mistakes, it is okay. Every time you speak, you learn something new and move one step forward. So now you understand what simple present tense is and how to use it in your daily life. Remember one important thing. Learning English is not only about reading or understanding. You must practice speaking regularly. Try to make small sentences every day and speak them loudly. You can also record your voice and listen to it. Use techniques like shadowing to improve your pronunciation in confidence. At first, it may feel difficult, but with regular practice, you will see improvement. Slowly, you will become more confident and start speaking English naturally. If you found this video helpful, Please like the video and share it with others who want to learn English. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more simple and useful English learning videos. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.